Hello, 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 everyone. I hope everybody can hear me well. Good. Hope everybody is doing good tonight. Decided to do something a little bit different since originally I thought it was going to be super cold. Everybody has been dealing with so much cold around here lately. So, figured I'd play it safe since getting over having a cold myself. And figured why not try something different and have somebody come on? So, let's see, who do we got in? We've got Lisa, hello. Amy, Belinda. I think Amy's having some issues. I'll be bringing her in here. It says her devices aren't connected. Who else do we have? Abnormal Investigations, hello. Lisa Ann, good to see everybody. I'm going to see if we can bring Amy on. Amy is, I actually found Amy on TikTok. She has her own channel. She does readings and such on her channel, and really wonderful person. And I hope everybody enjoys the discussion and interview tonight. And she'll probably be able to do maybe a couple talks if people have questions and stuff. So we will we'll get in here. Seems like she might be having a little bit of mic issues, but we'll see what we can do. No, she is not connecting. I would say, let's see. I don't know if Amy, if you can hear me, maybe log out and try logging back in to StreamYard. Let's see. Yeah, not working. Little technical difficulties. And let's see. Yeah, Amy, maybe if what you'll want to do is open up the browser inside of Google or Chrome. Chrome is usually the better choice. What's the weather like with everybody out there tonight? I know we're supposed to be getting like negative temperatures on Monday. Today was actually kind of nice. I was surprised, but it's not going to last, unfortunately. How about everybody else? You have decent weather today? Hello, Sharon Guy. Good to see you. But seems like a long week after having fair to normal abnormal. Fair to normal abnormal, huh? um, yeah, I like summer. Summer here in Wisconsin. It's the best day of the year. But you're in New Zealand, so that is nice, Belinda. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. So it's kind of weird being back to work and having full weeks after having such a sporadic time with the holidays and stuff. So it's kind of different. 3 to 5 inches of snow, huh? Yeah. We haven't had snow here in about a week. Well, we had a little bit of snow over the weekend, little dusting. It pretty much melted today, but it would be nice if we could get some nice clean snow coming in. Said you need to connect, Amy. It says you need to connect your mic or camera. You're probably going to want to go into your settings in there. Try that again. Here, let me try. Let me try this, Amy. Since you're in the chat too, Amy, I'm going to post the link in the chat. Click on the link in the chat and try that. "81 degrees Fahrenheit." Yeah, that's hot enough for me too, Belinda. But what's the humidity like? That's the real question. I know here right in the beginning of spring into summer, humidity is not so bad, but once summer hits, the humidity is horrible. Hey, Jenny, good to see you. Uh, no fan needed. That's usually the best. Amy, were you able to click the link from the chat? Well, it's nice that your mom is staying with you. Is this permanent, Lisa Ann? She's permanently staying with you? High in southern New Mexico is 56 today. Okay, so a little bit warmer by you than it was today. By us, I think we were at 46. So, and it was super windy. Let's see. Okay, she's just resetting up, and then hopefully that will get things working. But I'm definitely happy it's Friday. I have a lot of things to do this weekend. Lots of plans. What kind of plans you guys got this weekend? Anything fun, interesting? That's really nicely saying. I know I always like it when my mom comes to visit. She usually comes up for the summer and stays, and they have a place up here. It's okay, Belinda. I'm just glad you're here. Staying for good. Well, I hope, like most family members that stay, she doesn't wear out her welcome. But we love our moms, right? Aw, thank you, Jenny. All right. So, yeah, unfortunately, Martin Luther King Jr., I still have to go to work. But the banks are closed, which kind of stinks. All right. You have a public holiday on Monday. What's the holiday in New Zealand, Belinda? What do you guys? Yeah, well, we know, Mike. Can't get laid off if you're not working, right? Oh, it looks like we are good. All right, I will be bringing in Amy now. She's ready. Maybe. Give me a thumbs up when you're ready there, Amy. Okay. Hello.
Finally.
Yay! So,
Finally. Now I got to close everything. I got to echo.
uh-oh. You probably have an echo because your other device it looks like it might still be connected. Hold on
Taking it
one second.
off. Yeah. I had to download a whole new browser and everything because Chrome had me blocked and wouldn't let me change anything.
Oh. Oh. Well,
So
you're
fun.
here now. You're here now. So,
Yes. I've
awesome.
never had that happen before.
So,
But
how was your
woo,
day?
finally.
How are things going today other than the little hiccup tonight?
Yeah. Oh, everything's pretty good. Everything is going. That's about pretty much all I can say on that.
Yeah, yeah. So, I didn't really do a whole lot of background or information or anything like that. I just kind of figured I
It's
would let
okay. I
you.
could hear you the whole time.
Yeah,
I just couldn't
yeah.
say nothing.
So, well, I'll let you go ahead and why don't you just kind of give a brief, synopsis, whatever, about yourself and what you do and how you kind of came about doing this, and we'll go from there.
All right. Well, pretty much I was born into it. So what I do is that I read tarot. I actually am a medium, psychic, whatever you want to call it. I don't fit in like the whole cookie cutter thing about it, I guess, but I pretty much knew very early on in my life that this was going to be something that I was going to end up doing because I didn't have a way that I could technically block it when I was younger. So I just learned how to deal with it and learned how to pretty much have my own boundaries, I guess you could say, in that type of account. Especially when you're younger and you have abilities like that, sometimes you don't know the difference between real life and what's, you know, what's from the other side.
Right.
And then, but pretty much I started a business with it um about 15 years ago, and I've been I learned how to read tarot and everything on my own from doing that. And then plus doing like candle work and different spell work. I make my own ones because I don't really trust everything on the internet. I think it's just better just to do my own. But other than that, I mean, I'm just a normal person like everybody else. I'm just got a couple extra tweaks and twerks about myself than normal people might not have, but you can definitely develop it. Everyone has the same gifts. It's just all about tapping in and knowing how to use it. But that's pretty much what I do.
Yeah, and I know we've kind of discussed, I do believe that everybody has a little bit of a that intuition about them, and
100%.
whether it's here, people would say, they're spirit guides, their guardian angels, the little
Hmm.
voice in their head that, tells them they shouldn't do something, they should do something, a little kick in the butt every once in a while to do
Yeah,
things. Um, you know, I do believe that everybody does have that somewhat of an ability or a sixth sense kind of thing. And some people just have
definitely.
a little bit more than others. So, but yeah. So, um, So when do you what kind of things do you do? And I know you're on TikTok, and I see you
Mhm.
pop up every once in a while and stuff. Do you normally go on TikTok every night? Are you on TikTok every other night, or like how do people find you?
Pretty much I am on TikTok usually every night, but now since they've been talking about the banana of the whole platform in the United States, it's been kind of a damper. So I haven't been going on every night now. It's every other night, but I always answer all my messages on there. It's Amy's Intuition and Beyond, but I think it's Amy's Intuition and Tarot is my name on TikTok. But other than TikTok, if we end up keeping it, I think we're going to be able to keep it up until the point that, there's going to have to be an update and then it glitches, I guess, because I've definitely built a pretty good following over there. But I decided to add on. I have my Instagram, which is Amy's Intuition and Beyond, and I'm going to go live there and favorite it. It's the same thing as my TikTok, Amy's Intuition and Tarot, and then maybe the bingo app. I don't know. Everything's just kind of in the air right now because we're just waiting to see what's going to happen with TikTok because that's like my main space. I would rather it stay around, but hey, that's something we can't control at this point.
Yeah, and I know you've been following the TikTok thing pretty closely because
Yes,
that's your main source. But and that's going to affect a lot of people. I know there's a lot of
big time. It's
yeah.
180 mil. Well, I think it was either 180 million or billion people. It's over half of the United States is literally on TikTok. Like that's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. It's not going to be good if something happens to TikTok. I mean, I was
Yeah,
even telling you, I get a lot of my news from TikTok only simply because they don't do a lot of banning on there and
right. I
taking people
agree.
down for showing stuff that people want to see. And
Pretty
you want
much, and that's where the woke community is able to stay and speak their mind without being, judged. I mean, obviously, you're going to have your trolls. I mean, that's a given. That's going to be
yeah,
anywhere. But
anywhere.
yeah, they're usually kids or somebody that's just having a bad day. But other than that, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of a hard thing because you don't really know, especially if it's your main income, like it is for me, streaming and doing readings and helping people with spell work and candle work and different things like that. I mean, that's the hard part because the other platforms, it's harder to be able to connect with people. And that's pretty much my main thing that I've noticed. Focusing in on the other platforms, it's definitely not as good as the way TikTok is.
Yeah,
You can go viral on TikTok. The other ones, it doesn't seem like you can. Like the technology's not up there yet.
yeah. So, I don't know if you what kind of let's start off with this. What kind of strange, tell us about any strange experiences that you've had with the fact that you I know you got so many. Why don't,
Oh
why
God.
don't you give me
You're meaning
something?
like from
And
things from the other side?
well, I mean, anything that you want, because I know once you start talking about it, I mean, even experiences with other people that we've talked to at the cryptid communities too. Like once you start talking about it, things start to ramp up. So I don't want you to like cause you any issues, but I don't know if there's a
Yeah, it's definitely like that because I mean, when you start talking about it, sometimes it kind of like opens up that AKA portal door and it brings in things sometimes. But I've already gotten someone's grandmother that's in chat already kind of bugging me already, and
in
I
chat
didn't want to
here.
say anything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it happens all the time, and I don't really know how to address it because I'm not one of the people. I'm very outgoing, don't get me wrong, but when it comes down to it, something like that, and you're like, hey, do you know blah, 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 blah. And then you start a conversation. Like, that is one of my main initial problems is like, how the hell do you start that conversation with someone?
Well, I will tell you, everybody that is here in chat tonight, they're everybody that listens and watches, they're really
Oh,
good.
okay.
So
So we don't have any of those people like
of
others.
the
But
others, what do you mean?
yeah, the judgmental, the whole I don't know. I love skeptics to get to I'm telling you, like I love it. It's
Well,
pretty
I will
fun to be able to debunk it for them.
there may be some skeptics in here and some people with their own opinions, but I will guarantee you
Oh,
that everybody here is very kind and polite to one another. So, yeah, they will.
that's all that matters.
Yep.
Respect, and I mean, whatever is given back. I mean, I've always believed in you treat people how you want to be treated, and that's just the way it goes.
Yeah. So, yeah, I would say, something is coming through definitely, and anybody can take it or leave it or see what happens.
Right.
But
Well, this one, I'll just give the messages. How about
okay.
that?
Okay.
Pretty much what it is that the grandmother, the person wasn't there when they passed away. And that's how, and this person feels really guilty about it. And I don't know a name offhand because I made, before I got on, I did my meditation. That's what I was doing when I was talking to you. I was kind of setting up boundaries, and I do that before I get on live because it goes crazy for me sometimes, especially when there's a lot of people in the room. I didn't know how many people we were expecting. So I put up my boundary that I didn't want to go into too detail, but I was allowing them to come through. So pretty much what they're saying is that I believe this is a woman and that this message is for. And it feels like her grandmother passed and she wasn't there. And she feels guilty about not being there. But they knew that the grandmother was having issues, but the grandmother didn't tell the truth about a lot of it. Like she didn't go to the doctor as much as what she should because she already knew that it was her time, and the grandmother actually had abilities and she knew what was going on. And I feel from the breathing, like I feel it labored breathing with myself. And it's definitely something that has to do with it seems like a lung related thing, but I'm feeling stuff in different places. So it's hard to displace it, but it's making me hard to breathe. And it's basically doing like the heart fluttering thing. Honestly, it could have been a heart attack, to be for real, because it's like that type of thing. It's like it was something that was sudden, and then it like just everything stopped at once. It was like one of those type of things. And I don't feel that the family got an autopsy either because they knew, because she was older, but she's an older, shorter lady. And she seemed a little bit country, and I love that, like the way that her accent is kind of, it's but I wouldn't say like full-blown country. It's more or less like my accent. Like I don't really have a lot of like a full slang, but it's somewhat country. But yeah, she definitely put it out there that there is a piece of jewelry that this person has as well, of hers, and she just wanted basically to tell them that she is there. She knows that you had kids. She's very proud, and she doesn't want you to hold the burden of you not being there because she would choose it to be that way only because she didn't want anybody to see her take her last breath. So it seems to me is that she was by herself. I don't think she was on hospice or anything like that. It was just she died at home, and then somebody ended up finding her afterwards, and she didn't want that to be her family. It's
Okay.
pretty much as much information as I got at the moment.
Okay.
So if that's somebody's, I just wanted to let them know that because she said that it hurts their feelings a lot that they weren't there.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know if that resonates with anyone
Yeah, I'm not sure.
in chat, but
I was on
mentioning,
live earlier too, so like that's why I was kind of iffy about bringing it
mhm,
up, because sometimes they can come in, later,
yeah,
and they don't have a sense of time like we do.
and I do believe that. I mean, even through my own investigations and in the paranormal and stuff such like that, I've noticed that there there is that lack of linear time. I mean, time is human.
Big
We
time.
see time as, a definitive here, there, nonstop kind of thing. Um, but I mean,
It's
yeah,
parallel, but it's different.
right.
Yeah,
And I mean, I say, because even in the Bible, when Christ and God talks about, I'll be back soon. Well, what is soon? Soon to us,
exactly. Soon
time
could
is
be any,
nothing.
and that's like anything. Like, so
Hmm.
soon could be 5 minutes to one person, and then no, I never asked for a name. Darn. I mean, I swear, I feel like it's an S name, and because she kind of basically, she came in, she said her piece, and then she was out. Like it was like one of those type of things. Like she just wanted her message to be heard. Yeah, and then she was just like, oh well, okay, deuces, I'm out. But yet, see, that's not like a typical way that I do things usually. Because, like, if I plan it that I'm going to channel, I definitely do it differently, and I will get a lot more information. But I just wasn't expecting it here.
Well, and
I wasn't.
I kind of like how you said that before you go on, a show and stuff, you do put up those barriers. Because I mean, even like
Always.
when I go out to do my investigations too, I like to do my prayers to make sure that I'm protected and don't bring anything home. And after I get back, to my vehicle, I do my prayers again to make sure that anything that would be attached is gone, and I don't have any of those attachments too. And it's important. It's really important for anybody that's doing anything with any type of spirituality or again
Agree.
cryptid work or anything like that. You never know.
Yeah,
We
your
can't.
black obsidian, any type of protection you can do is always the best bet. Like, I don't care. Even if you're carrying like a sage stick in your pocket or Paleo Sancho, like anything, it's just crazy to me. Like, you have to protect yourself or you're gonna bring something home.
Yep. Yeah. And and for me, prayer is usually the best thing that I've always
100%.
found. So, but yeah, I'm
Yeah,
glad you
everyone has
connected
their
us.
own
Great.
thing. And I always do I have like a ritual way that I do things. And it's just how I've learned that it works for me. And as long as everyone has like their own setup about it, that's the best thing.
Yeah, whatever makes everybody feel comfortable and feel most protected. That is. Yep.
Exactly.
Hmm. So, so yeah. Anything strange other than that? Anything strange that
Right.
recently happened to you, or what is the strangest thing that you can think of?
Well, I don't know. It's crazy because like I feel like one of my daughters is like, she definitely has abilities. I know she does. But I swear when she holds it, she's 12 and she holds in anger a lot. And I had an instance that she built a PK manifestation one night. It was like, yeah, it was kind of crazy because we were arguing that day, a lot of us, and she's more quiet. So she didn't really argue. And we're just sleeping and it's like 3:30 in the morning, and then we just hear this loud bang, and we're literally looking around like everybody's in the same room, and we're like, what in the hell was that? And it was literally I had strawberry applesauce next to the microwave, and it was 3 containers of that applesauce got thrown, and it was like splattered on the ceiling. all over the floor, and it just went everywhere. And we couldn't figure out like what the hell happened. And it's only happened like 3 times that it was like an outburst like that. And the only thing I can connect would be it being her, because I didn't feel any spirits around, nothing like that. I just feel the energy gets kind of like radiating off of her. And all she did was laugh and go back to sleep. So I just thought it was really odd. And I don't know, like I stuff like that is kind of normal in our household, I guess you could say. I don't even consider anything weird anymore.
No. Yeah, I guess if stuff like that happens quite a
Yeah,
bit.
it's really weird, but it's their way of letting out their anger, and they don't even realize it. It's pretty crazy.
So if somebody has something like that happen out of the blue with them in their home, things
Just
go
random.
flying out of just random like that. Yeah.
And
What would you
speaking of
suggest
her, she just texted me, "Good night, mommy," just now.
your daughter?
She's at a friend's house. You can't make this stuff up, I'm telling
No.
you.
Yeah. Yeah, I swear my daughter does that to me though too. I won't hear from her all week, but the minute right before I'm going to go on a show or something, I'll get a phone call. Mom, I need to talk to you. What?
I'm telling you,
What?
man. It's that like telepathic type telekinesis, whatever. Like, I swear it is. It's pretty odd because it's kind of like when you think about somebody and they end up popping up, calling, or texting you. It's such the weirdest thing ever.
Yeah, that happens to me all the time, all through life. Yeah, I've had
Do you see
weird.
angel numbers and everything too?
I don't know. I'm not very familiar with that, so I'm not too familiar
Any
with numbers
sequence
and
of numbers like 555, 333, 1111, like 1111. It's one of them.
okay.
444. They all have their own meaning. It's just like when you see them, you just Google like what it is, exactly what it means, and they all have their own meanings. But it usually, in a nutshell, you're connected to the divine, and you see these numbers like letting you know, like, okay, you're on the right track, or you are pretty much just, I guess, doing the right thing. Some of them means like you might need to change your situation. Like, it just all depends on the number and when. Yes. And I always do the whole wish 1111 thing. I've done it since I was a kid. Before I was even connected to anything like this, I didn't even know what the hell it was for. Me and my
So
friends
so what
always
does
did it.
so what does 1111 mean? Is that just
It's
making
just a
sense?
synchronizable thing that you're synchronized with the divine, and you're on the right path, and you're doing what your past life put in place for you to do. Is
Okay.
pretty much what that one means.
See now, and I've always, and I wasn't, I'm not, again, I'm not so familiar with the numbers thing, but one of the things that I've always found a little bit more odd for me is the, like the deja vu feelings I get.
Oh yeah.
And for so long, so I would get deja vu all the time growing up, all the time. And probably, mm,
Past life.
well, Well, and here's the thing, this is why it's strange. So the deja vu just stopped for about almost, let's say 7, 8 years maybe. I had
Oh
no
wow.
deja
That
vu.
could be a reason behind that too.
And
It
then
really can
now
be.
now recently, the deja vu has started again. And I mean, in fact,
You're tapping in, you're having a awakening. That's what that is. Because see, the veil this year, for some reason, the veil has thinned a lot more than previous years. And so I've noticed, like, when I'm doing readings for people and stuff, and with the Mars retrograde, it only happens every 2 years, and it brings in like your past lessons that you've never really learned from. Like, you kind of just put it in the back of your mind and pushed it as far back as you possibly can so you wouldn't think about it, but you never healed from it. Like, it brings up stuff like that. It brings up like just past things, but at the same time, along with that, the veil is very thin between the spiritual realm and here and us. So it brings up a lot more intuition from us. And that's pretty much where that comes from. Your intuition's heightened. So you're going through an awakening. So basically, you're getting more gifts that you're able to develop further. And that's one of your gifts. Deja vu is actually part of one of the gifts from one of the clairs.
One of the
Clairvoyance is a big part of it
oh,
too.
okay. Yeah, because yeah, like I said, like with the deja vu, I would get that to the point where I could almost clearly see for a few seconds almost into what was happening and what was going on. And I wouldn't be able to tell if it was necessarily like feeling of actually reliving that moment
Yeah,
previously, or if I was actually um, remembering a dream to that point. Like it would be that
could
clear.
be.
But
But
recent,
dreams are another part of our intuition.
yeah.
That's actually, people actually have ability of their dreams telling the future or telling them things that's happened. Yeah, that's another ability. There's literally 28 abilities that we can develop as
Oh,
humans.
wow.
Yeah, it's a lot. Not just
And,
the senses with the clairs. Like there's a lot more.
mm, I didn't realize there were, so many different ones that.
It's crazy. It's so crazy, like how much. And I bet you anything, even people in this room, I can almost guarantee that we've all slept on at least 5 different abilities that we could have that we didn't even realize was a thing,
Yeah.
unless we research it or whatever and make it stronger. It's pretty wild, like how we're born with all this stuff, but we have to learn how to use it.
Well, and I remember hearing so many different things about, like, my grandmother would always tell me, you have a guardian angel. You need to listen to your guardian angel. Listen to them. They're not going to steer you wrong. But and that's why I've always felt like I've never been kind of scared of the spiritual side of things because of the way that I was raised.
Yeah,
Um,
being
but
scared is what kind of stops people from getting into it, you know.
mhm,
It's kind of sucks because, it is scary because it's the unknown. Anything that's unknown is scary, and that's just something that comes along with it. And the spiritual realm is there to help us, but hey, everything is half good and half bad.
yeah, yeah, and that's the other thing is that I think a lot of people are scared because you don't know if whatever is coming through has bad intentions,
Big
and how do you
time.
know?
Yeah, that's where our intuition comes in. We just have to differentiate. Sometimes we're not right in the situation, but a lot of the time we are. If we don't second guess ourselves, I think that's like the main thing. Like if you listen to your intuition to the point that like you hear a yes and a no in your head and you go with that first answer, it's always usually correct. And that's part of what our abilities are. It's just hard for us as humans because it's like built into us to second guess everything.
Yeah.
And it's a very bad habit and it's hard as crap to get out of, because that's something I've tried to tell myself and always tell people I work with. Never second guess that gut feeling or your first thing.
Hmm.
Of a seer, as in like a light worker seer.
I don't know if, because your knowledge of this is probably way more extensive than what a lot of the other
Oh, I don't
people
know.
are
I'm just
just
wondering like what type of seer, because there's a lot of different ones.
maybe, yeah, cat ma'am. Are you thinking of more like definition of a seer of
As in they can see other things that other people can't, or is this like a light worker? Because I know that there's a light worker seer, and there's quite a few different definitions. It just depends on what type you're talking about.
yes, she said seeing
Oh,
future
yeah.
events.
That's basically one word: clairvoyant. That's what a clairvoyant is a seer of future events. And they can actually see past events as well. It just depends on what you're tapping into and what you end up seeing at that moment. And it all depends on your abilities. And see, that's my problem, is that it's hard to know where to fit it in a timeline. Like, that's the hard part. Like, sometimes you don't know if this is something that hasn't happened before or not. So it's just one of those things that you just have to go with your gut. But in the same sense, a lot of the time, I believe that I would say 75% of the time, it's probably past events that we see as a clairvoyant. But if you want to see future events, all you got to do is ask. That's what your spirit guides are there for. You have to ask them what you want to see, and they'll show you.
Now,
It's simple as that.
How do you discern whether or not this, and I guess after you get familiar with that gut feeling again, or that,
Yeah. You mean like talking to your spirit guides?
Yeah. So how would you know, how would you discern the
The difference between your ego, spirit guides, and like your own voice in your own head? Or something else?
Evil, yeah.
Well, pretty much a lot of the time when you are speaking in your head, per se, because that's what we're doing, it's called clairaudient, and that's when you can hear the events and you can talk to other beings. That's called clairaudient. And pretty much what it is like it depends on what you're comfortable with, because a lot of the time when I talk to mine, it's in my own voice. But you have to know the difference between your ego and your self-talking self, between that and, I don't know, it's just the way that they speak. They speak different. Like, my spirit guides speak differently. Like, they don't have broken English like I do. I mean, I differentiate it in different ways and to know the difference. Like, when you hear them speak to you, if you're going to sit there and listen, you just have to know the difference between what's being said and like you just got to know the difference between yourself and all of that. And that's the only thing, is separating your emotions from it. When you can do that, then you're pretty much spot on what you're listening to. It's just some people, I've talked to some people and they actually have different voices for each spirit guide. And most people have 4.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And it's usually people from at least 3. Well, no, I would say minimum 2 are from your bloodline, and they actually choose to be your spirit guide. And so when you are about to come into the world or whatever, you're about to be born, your loved ones decide if they want to be your spirit guide or not. And they can be multiple spirit guides in the same sense. And then most of the time it is 3 from your family or a close friend or somebody that you've met in your lifetime. It's happened like that. Like, they switch places at times too.
Oh.
Like, yeah, it just all depends on your timeline, where you're at in your life, because sometimes you need more help from your spirit guides than others. So it just all depends. And some people have animals. They have a 5th, and it would be an animal like a wolf or a bear or something like that. And that's where the spirit animal, like, situation comes into play. I guess that's where the subject comes into play. But not everybody has a spirit animal. It's only certain people. And I can see people's spirit guides or whatever, and then I describe them to the people, and then they know who they are.
Oh. Is it usually something,
it just depends on the person.
Is it usually something, have they, like, I think I've read stories before where people have said, out of the corner of my eye, I see a cat that follows me, and it seems like this cat follows me, and then somebody will come back and say, yeah, you have a spirit guide that's a cat. And
it can be, yeah.
It makes it, dawn on them then. But
yeah, it definitely can be. And it could be a characteristic of yourself as well too. because usually the people who have animal spirit guide, and it's only usually one of their spirit guides, they would have characteristics in their personality and how they do things of that particular animal or how they think, because they help them in different ways. I'm not really sure how they figure out who gets, an animal and who doesn't. I don't know where that falls into play, but it's still, it's certain people. Like I would say a good 2 out of 5 people that I meet have animals, have at least, have one animal as their spirit guide.
Okay. Oh, so it's not something that
It's
is
not that terribly common. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. I've met less than 10 people in my life that's had an animal.
Belinda says my mom's dad is her spirit guide.
Yes. Yes. And the grandmother as well.
Oh, there you go, Belinda.
Yeah. And if it's not the wife of the dad, it's his mother. It's one of them too. Yeah.
And I can't read what Mike's trying to say because the little
Mine is a
emoji.
boot. Is that what it says? Mine's a boot.
Oh, unless it's a troll. I don't know. It doesn't
Who
show up in
knows?
it doesn't show up in stream.
My husband's over there laughing. He thinks it's funny. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't know what that emoji is.
I got you a big ham and cheese.
Why didn't you get a burger? Okay. Yeah, but I wanted the bacon burger. It's okay.
Well, we can tell he doesn't have very good intuition.
Nope. Never. It's always like that, When he asks, he usually always asks, and then the time that he doesn't. Go figure. But it's okay. I like it. Hardee's is definitely a good thing around where we live at. A lot of places don't have Hardee's anymore.
Oh yeah, I know they
Sad.
shut all of them down around here. I think we have one in the middle of town, but that's it. But
Sharon, actually, you do have them, but you have your ears closed. And by what I mean by that, and I don't mean that in no disrespect at all, you're just not, you don't have to concentrate till you fart. Okay. That's something that I've always told people. Okay. Because I'm telling you, I have literally seen people sit there and concentrate so hard that they can literally shit their pants. It's not like that. That's not how you do it. You have to be like in kind of like a meditative state. Not always, but when you first connect, and you just have to ask for it. If you want to speak to your spirit guides and you want to hear them, ask for it. The divine will give it to you, period. That's literally it. And then there's a lot of good, actually here on YouTube, tutorials and different things like that. You just say, how can I hear my spirit guide? How can I speak with my spirit guide? There's ways to do that. And I have classes that I actually teach that I can help you with that and learn how to, develop your gifts, learn how to speak to your spirit guides, learn to pretty much navigate spirituality, period. Or if you want to learn tarot, I've got a class for that. I've got a class basically for anything that, and it's one-on-one, and I only do them one-on-one because everybody learns at a different pace and everybody is different, and I go by their schedule, and I do it maybe 2 or 3 times a week, each person for a month. And then we do it as like a monthly thing. And then you decide what you want to learn. And I go from there. Yeah, it's all customizable to the person.
And then you don't have to feel, other people don't have to feel intimidated about what other people are thinking. And
I'm an ADHD person, so I always felt that growing up in school. So I just didn't want anybody else to feel that same type of pressure, and I think it's so much better when you're one-on-one with a person because they're going to tell you a lot more and they're going to, give you a lot more information that way. And then they can really actually learn the content. You don't have to worry about all the extra, because other students and other people can be very distracting.
Yeah. Yeah, and it does get intimidating when you're trying to learn stuff and you have questions and you might be afraid to ask or do something or try
Yep,
something or yeah. Hmm.
always.
What does Belinda say?
Sometimes I actually had classes like I was learning from the student. Well, I wouldn't even consider them students. Like some of these people are older than me. Like it's not even like that. Like I don't even know what to call the person. I guess the person I'm teaching, whatever. But I've actually learned things with the person I'm supposed to be teaching. Like they wanted to learn something new that I didn't know yet. So we learn together. And it works out like that sometimes.
Well, and that's what life is, you know? Every day you learn something new, and if you're not learning, then what's the point?
I am 100% exactly like that. Yes. I love, and I'll be the first person to tell you if I don't know something, then I don't know it.
So
Definitely.
I have to ask you something because when you were talking about being clairaudient,
Yes.
um, it kind of made me again, my ADHD kicked
Hey,
in.
I'm with you.
So I was thinking back to where a lot of people, a lot of cryptid investigators, for example, will go out and some will
Mhm.
say, yeah, I can hear, I'll go with my buddy and I could hear these things talking and my buddy couldn't. And, I'm getting mind speak. And so a lot of the cryptid investigators consider it or call it mind speak. Is that the same thing or is that completely different?
Nope. It's the same. They're actually speaking to the other realm and they don't even realize it. You don't need a spirit box to do that.
Okay.
Yeah. Like
So,
that's actually what clairaudience is. 110%. Like if you're hearing the spirits when y'all are going on investigations, that's 100% clairaudient. And a lot of people, they're clairvoyant and and the only difference of everything is like clairaudient is when you hear things because it's auditory, your ears. It's all by your senses. All the clairs are senses. Clairvoyant, that's when it's seeing. You're seeing in your brain through your third eye. So the clairsentient is the only one that's different. That's not like a sense per se, because it just means you know things and you don't know why you know them and you don't know how you learned it. That's what clairsentience is. It's just like knowing stuff and you don't know how you know it, but you just know it. And you know
okay.
it's the right answer. But every single one has different things. Like there's some people that taste things, even smelling. Like say if your grandmother passed away when you were little and you know a certain perfume that she would wear and you would smell that, when she's been passed for 10 years, that is another clair. That's the clair of smelling. I can't remember the damn word. Having a brain fart. I've got it all over here wrote down. I was looking for it. But yeah, every single one has to do with our senses and it comes along with it. And all these things happen to us on a daily and we don't realize that it's actually a real gift.
Okay. So yeah, so somebody that would be going out and even if they're investigating what is not necessarily spiritual
Mm-hmm.
ghost type things, but these cryptid type creatures that they're connecting to and hearing, they're still able to. It's still a gift that they've.
It is. A lot of them haven't been human either. That's another thing. Like the cryptid ones, there is a lot of beings out there. If you watch the show with the investigator guy and the girl Amy, the lady Amy, what is the name of that show, Charlie? Dead Files. It will give you a lot. Look it up
Okay.
because it is an awesome show. And that's what they do. They go to people's houses, and the guy is actually a retired investigator. So he looks on the logical side of things.
Hmm.
So he researches the history of the house. He researches the history of the land, all that. Well, the lady Amy, which is weird, but she actually does what I do, but she's way more advanced. She can talk to these things and these creatures. And like our old land has creatures that come out of the ground. It can come from the land itself. It can be built up through a PK, poltergeist, all that.
Now you mentioned PK twice now. Is that what poltergeist is, or what's
Yes,
PK?
same thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a paranormal. Charlie, look that up for me and tell me the exact definition, please. PK. Like, what is the P and K? It's paranormal something. But yes, I was telling them about the applesauce. Yes, he said, yeah, that was free. Yeah, it is. I swear it's a paranormal. I don't know. Hurry up. He's so much into like the ghost stuff and everything. Like, he wants to go on investigation so bad. Psychokinesis is what a PK is.
PK energy.
Yeah, PK energy. And it usually happens when someone has abilities, but they don't know how to exert their energy in a healthy way. So they hold it in, just like anger or being sad or
Psychokinetic.
and then it just builds up. And then all of a sudden, like, you're literally moving shit. Like it happens like that. Yeah, it says paranormal activity that is a result of psychic kinetic. So psychic, our mind, kinetic energy, usually the outflow of pent up emotions. Same thing I just said. And that's literally what it is. It's a person that doesn't realize that they have, or they know that they have abilities. It's just they need to talk it out. They need to exert it in a more healthier way.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Jenny. Yes. It's pretty wild because I never realized that any of us can do this.
So Mike does cryptid
Could he see
investigation.
them or feel them?
He has
How
seen
did he
them.
know what it was? That's my question.
He's been able to see some of. I don't know. He's talking about food in the chat right now, but
Yeah, I can't see the chat. I can only see a few things that pop up here and there. And that was Sharon's comment I saw, but I don't see the rest.
Okay, so he says, I'm ready to get back out there. I miss them. He misses the cryptids.
Oh, you made friends with them. Nothing wrong with that. They're usually connected to the land, though.
Yeah, definitely believe that they're connected to the land.
Yeah, because see, the lady, why I brought up the show is because the lady Amy, she actually gets these things drawn up by a like a sketch artist. Okay. So then you can see what they look like. Mm-hmm. And stuff like that. And she explains all of it like in grave detail. It's pretty wild.
So in the Dead Files, she actually does more than just like ghosts and stuff. She actually does like these other being entities things too.
Well, there's another Amy Brawny. She does that kind of stuff. But that Amy on Dead Files, all they do is investigate houses of people that they're having hauntings. And they have to find out where the hauntings are coming from. And then she tells them that.
I found Amy Brawny on TikTok a few years ago before she started doing her show.
Right. Why is there so many of us named Amy? Like, that's what I don't understand. Like,
it's a good name, I guess.
It bothers me. I'm just like, wow. And we all do ghost different things. It's so weird to me. I'm just like, okay, so I basically got pinned with this name in the 80s on purpose.
Maybe it was your mother's intuition. She just knew.
Could have been, because that lady is crazy as all get out. I would not doubt it. It's just wild how that stuff is. See, it's pretty cool that they can hear cryptids and stuff like when y'all go on investigations. Like, what do you get when you go?
Me?
Yeah. Like,
I
what do
get
you
you.
feel? What's your whole experience like when you do it? Is it different every time?
With the cryptid stuff? No, actually, that's what I was going to ask you tonight. Since I have you on the show, I'm going to put you on the spot.
Mm-hmm.
So the areas that I've been going here locally, I don't feel like I'm getting a whole lot, even though I'm in areas known to where people have had things happen to them, usually during the
Mm-hmm.
summer, while they're camping and such. But I don't have, I've had weird things happen, but nothing that I really can attribute to a cryptid necessarily. So
Gotcha.
I was going to ask you if you could tell if I am in the right area or if I need to go somewhere else.
I feel like the area's dead.
Okay.
I really feel like going somewhere else would be a good thing because I think y'all have searched the hell out of this area and it's kind of spooked there's not that many spirits around already. So like it kind of needs to be spread out some. But at the same time, I feel like there might be some work that you can do on the outside, and we can talk about this afterwards, that
Okay.
you can open yourself up more to be able
Oh,
to experience it, but still protect yourself at the same time,
okay. I was gonna
if
say
you
I don't
want.
know. I don't know if I want to open myself up too much
I
more,
understand.
but
I'm telling you, I get you. That's the only reason why I won't go because I'm scared. I'm scared.
well, you're
I ain't even
already
gonna
pretty
lie.
open up. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I'm a little bit too open, and I swear, I feel like I'm gonna have monkeys on my back everywhere.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like a damn zoo. I don't want to go to them. They come to me. Like I like it like that.
Yeah. So,
Yes, cat mom, 110%. Yes, but everybody has all the same abilities. Like we can actually develop all of them. You just have to know how to go about it. That's why I teach it, because I help people do that. But everybody has at least two abilities that are better than all the rest, like what they start out with. Like mine, I would say mine would be the clairvoyance and the clairsentience. But the other ones, not as much. It just depends on who you are and what your like how your abilities are coming about.
hmm so, so you think that do you think the investigations just in the area that I have been here doing locally is pretty dead, and I need to reach out or go somewhere else? And is it more spiritual or like or cryptid type?
I think
Like
it could be either or. I mean, depending on what you're trying to achieve, I feel like doing a little bit, it doesn't have to be like far off from where you're at. If you want to do the whole cryptid scene, anything that's Indian burial, I've noticed is more on the cryptid side. Anything to do with any type of historical fights like the Civil War, stuff like that. Like here in Virginia, where I'm at, it's hellacious stuff like that here. Like we have everything, like from Williamsburg to not Gettysburg, that's Pennsylvania, but Monticello and all the different things like that. And I know everywhere has, even in your state, you guys have like some different types of battlegrounds and stuff. That could be somewhere where you can start, because older the ground is, the more likely it is for the cryptids. But cryptids usually are in places that are not habited by people, because people building and all that stuff actually runs these type of creatures out, or they will haunt the shit out of you until you move out. It
Mhm.
just depends on where you're at.
Okay. Well, that kind of
Big
helps
time.
me.
Yeah, it just depends on what you're trying to achieve.
Yeah. See, now I've had spiritual things like that happen to me my entire life. So that's why I'm looking more for the cryptid side of things, because that's
Got
the
you. Something different.
experiences that I haven't, yeah,
Got it.
really had. So,
Yeah,
and that's
that's
what I'm
something
looking for.
I have only been encountered with maybe once or twice. I've never put myself in a position to physically see something like that. I've seen it like in visions or clairvoyance, like from other people's perspective, but I've never seen it my own. So I definitely understand that.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm a home person.
Hey, I think a lot of people have become a home person after the whole the big.
Yeah. It kind of does isolate you in a way being this way, but at the same time, it kind of makes you unsociable because you feel so much and you can only block but so much. So it's very draining. Like literally doing lives and having like 500 people asking questions and the chat's just rolling. Because I answer the yes and no questions on TikTok. Like I will go on live for maybe 3 hours, but my ass has to have at least a 12-hour sleep session like afterwards, especially if I have mediumship connected, because that's what they thrive on. And that's where we get our answers from, is from our core energy.
Mhm.
So that's where all that comes from. Like it's pretty draining, but at the same time, it's pretty rewarding at the same time.
Yeah.
And that's
Well
why
then,
I don't mind.
I guess I'm definitely not getting anything when I go out because usually when I get back from an investigation at night, I actually feel energized. So I always say that it must be the
No,
nature.
you could be getting that from the area though, too.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I'm telling you, you can actually, some people get the opposite. It depends on what type of core energy you're pulling from. Because, see, me, they pull from my core energy, and that's what depends on if I'm, because, see, some nights I'm not like that. It all depends on the night and what spirits I connect to and who I talk to. Because I've always learned that there's two different types of people. There's batteries and vacuums. And the vacuums are the ones that kill me because they suck all your energy out. But batteries, they will recharge you. And I think it has a lot to do with who you're going with at that time, too, because they can help energize you as well, because y'all are having collective energy from doing your investigations. That has a
But
lot to do with it.
who do I investigate with?
Was it the times that you're investigating with yourself that you were feeling energized, or is this all the time?
I've never well, I've gone out twice with groups of people and
Hmm.
uh, but
I think
that
you should
was
try more with other people too, because I'm telling you, I think it would be really fun for
I
you.
think so. I think so too, but I don't have anybody locally. I told you that. I'm kind of a hermit
Oh, I
myself.
know, I know. I told you, you've got to come our way. Because we're not that far off, but still, we need to get together and do something. I'll do it if you go, okay? I will. But I'm not doing it if it's just me and Charlie. Hell no, because he is not scaring me. And then we're gonna end up locked in somewhere and then I can't get out. No, you ain't setting me up like that.
Well,
Hell no.
somebody told me that because I've told my friend Jenny who's in the chat. I think she's still in the chat.
Hmm.
We should go and do something together and go down and visit her too. So maybe one of these days I'll may be able to make a trip through and
Heck
around.
yeah, that'll be fun. We
Yeah.
can meet up and do some type of investigation. And I mean, I don't know why, but it's like that here. Like there's so many. If you just look up Virginia and anything ghostly, even
Mhm.
during Halloween time, they do the tours all October long at all these places. And you only pay like $5, $10 to get in, and they'll show you everything.
Oh
It's pretty
wow.
wild.
See now here in Wisconsin they do the the Halloween tours and stuff too, and there's a lot of haunted history. But yeah, not that
Is it
cheap,
haunted
man. They
houses though? Like
they do
legit
like
haunted houses, or are they making
oh
this stuff?
oh no, they're legit
I'm
like
talking about where she's at in Wisconsin.
they're legit historically haunted houses anywhere from like in the Milwaukee area. I mean, just there's stuff all over southeast, central, north, especially northern Wisconsin. Like, have you ever
Right.
heard of the Peshtigo fires?
Mm-hmm. Oh,
The past,
yeah. Anything that's devastation, you're gonna find hellacious spirits everywhere. And a
mhm.
lot of them don't realize that they're even gone, to be honest. They're just going by their daily lives. And some of them people, they're in the spirit world, they don't even realize. I don't want to get political here about heaven and hell and stuff like that. I don't want to go there. But I'm just saying they literally are still here and they don't know. Like I've ran into spirits like that did not know that they were passed away.
Mhm.
And it's pretty sad because like, could you imagine being that person to tell somebody, yeah, you're not here anymore physically, but yeah, you're dead. I'm
So
telling you.
what happens when you run into spirits that didn't realize? Are they able to pass over or leave, or are they stuck? What happens?
Sometimes. Yeah, sometimes. I literally only have happened once that they have passed over after, but others, they pretty much they live in denial and it's like, who am I to tell them that what they believe isn't true? They're human just like us. You know what I mean?
Are they
Like,
so
yeah, it
stubborn in the
yes.
living and
And
stubborn in
that's why
death?
they're still here. That's why they haven't passed over yet because they're like, man, I know that shit didn't kill me. I've done this 100 times. I know it didn't kill me this time. And it's just like that, like literally. And it's just like having a conversation with a regular person
Yeah.
and trying to convince somebody that they're dead when they're really, I mean, like, and they're alive. It's like the same thing. It's just like, yeah, right. I can touch myself and everything. Yeah, but I can't touch you. That's what you don't get. Yeah, it's
Puts
like
holy
one of them
meaning to
type
pinch
instances.
me or smack them.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, I know. One of the areas that I would like to go to is the where the Peshtigo fires happen, because a lot of people don't realize that, like during the time of the Chicago fires, which most people know about the Chicago fires. Well, there was also the Milwaukee fires that happened the exact same time and year, but the Peshtigo fires that happened in northern Wisconsin happened at the exact same time as well. And the reason why the Peshtigo fires didn't
Wow.
make headline news is because it was a smaller community, and of course, the time, you know, of in the world when that stuff was going on, um, there were more people to talk about the Milwaukee fires and the Chicago fires, but not necessarily the Peshtigo fires. Unfortunately, there was actually more death and destruction in Peshtigo,
Ooh,
Wisconsin than there was with the Milwaukee and the Chicago together.
wow. Sounds kind of connected. I mean, conspiracy theorist in me, you know, I don't know. It just seems off, you know? It's just weird how, especially being around the same time frame, too.
I think it was
Oh,
because of the
shit. She
whole
said she's got
drug.
Bigfoots on her property.
Shit.
Oh wow!
That's something.
Oh, you're cutting. Are you there? You were
Oh, what
cutting out,
happened?
Amy. You cut out, Amy. That's
Oh,
weird.
yes. I'm still here. It just did a
Yeah.
little spinny and now it's good. So I
Okay.
don't know.
So it's only 2 to 3 acres.
No,
Oh,
she said
that's
something
not.
about Bigfoot.
Yeah, she says we have Bigfoots on our property. It's only 2 to 3 acres, and they just want to come in and watch us. Like, no, kid. They just want to watch.
Oh, God.
That's not a lot of acreage
My
for them to
husband
be
wants to
hanging
see
out
one
either.
so bad.
Until he
Yeah,
sees
he
one,
wants
and
to
then he
see
doesn't.
one so bad. He watches all them shows. I'm like, hell nah, you can stay in the mountains where you belong.
Yeah. Oh, they always say, everybody wants to see one until they do see one, and then they don't want to see them anymore. You can't go back.
Exactly. Is that something you would consider a cryptid, though?
Yes.
Bigfoot.
Well, yeah,
Okay.
Bigfoot,
So,
Dog
what
Man.
a. Okay. All right. And so that would be like like my kids, they love to watch those ones with, I don't know if the Slender Man thing's real. I really don't. But what the heck is some other things like skinwalkers and all that type of stuff and shapeshifters and all.
Well, I don't necessarily consider skinwalkers a cryptid.
That's what I'm saying.
Not
Like,
not in the
to
same
know what a
sense.
cryptid is, they have to fit in that category, you know?
Well, and I think the term that most society nowadays sees a cryptid as is more along the lines of the unknown animal type species or
Oh,
any
yeah.
or humanoid type thing.
Right.
I mean, because there's cat people, there's dog
Like
people,
the
there's
banshee
frog
and stuff
people,
like
there's
that.
well,
Would that be
I
considered it?
I don't think a banshee would be considered a
Yeah, because
cryptid,
that's only
but
like the yelling woman thing or
that would
whatever.
be now that what I would see more along the paranormal, like spiritual side of things, the
I
banshees.
agree because it
The
has to do with a baby and something.
mhm.
Yeah. Miss Flower, oh, they will love you. They love anybody with high energy. Actually, spirits, they can see you as a light, and that's how they're attracted to you. That's why we're considered light workers because it depends on our spiritual energy, not our physical energy.
Lee Jennifer says, "Come on over. They're in Southeast Oklahoma. Cryptids every night."
Woo-wee! Heck yeah. Have you got footage of them? Like any type of like pictures, taping of it or whatever? That would be really cool.
Mm. You know, that's the other thing that's hard too, is a lot of people that do end up having these things regularly on their properties and stuff, even if they do get images and videos. I mean, not a lot of people want to share them because even in the cryptid community, it is very difficult to not be judged and
Definitely.
harassed and
You better have a
attacked.
pew
And
pew. This dummy, I gotta let him in. Hold on.
okay.
He done locked himself out the room. Oh my god. I'm coming, I'm coming. Why did you forget your keys?
I'm sorry.
Ugh, it's fine.
Thank you, babe.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys have questions for
Sorry
Amy too,
about
please
that.
feel free to
Oh,
throw them in the chat.
Sorry.
Throw
no,
them
it's
in
fine.
all caps. But yeah.
Oh yeah, any questions are welcomed. I'm pretty open book, so it doesn't really matter what the question is. That's, oh wow. But yeah, I think it would be pretty cool, like to be able to show people, like if somebody wanted to do like a reading, like how it would go. Because I've actually came across a lot of people lately when I moved over to the favorited app from TikTok and I've been doing lives over there. I never realized how many people has never had a tarot reading, or they don't even know how they work or anything. It's pretty wild because TikTok, it's pretty saturated. And I swear, mostly everybody on TikTok has at least had one reading done by someone. But favorited, I came across so many people. I guess it's just the depending of the each group of each app, but it's pretty wild. I never ran into so many people that's never got a reading before in their life, and they don't even know how they even go. I was
I've never
pretty
heard of the I've never heard of the favorited app. Is that
That's
just
what a lot of people are moving to. From
from
TikTok.
TikTok?
Yeah.
I'll have to
It's
write that
you
down.
go live still. You only need 25 followers, and you can go to my TikTok profile. You can download it and get free 50 coins. I'll get 50 coins and you get 50 coins. And
Okay.
you just download it from my profile. And it's like that for everybody. If anybody wants it, you get free coins. You know how you send gifts on TikTok? You get free 50 coins on favorited to send to other creators. And they don't have rules like they do on TikTok either. You can vape, you can smoke, you can say whatever you want. Like, it's not like TikTok. There's not rules like that.
Well, I think like even on YouTube, there's a lot of creators that do that kind of stuff on YouTube, and they aren't as strict. but they have other strict policies that YouTubers
It
have to
all
follow.
depends. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Favorited, like if you're in a legal state, I don't know if that even matters over there, but I've even seen people participate and prepare certain things on that
Oh,
app too. And I'm like, all right. But yeah, they don't get banned or anything like that like you would on TikTok.
yeah.
It's
Now,
very open type of community.
is Virginia legal?
Yeah. Yeah, we're
Okay.
legal here.
Yeah. Wisconsin's not legal, so.
Gotcha.
But I don't think it would really stop anybody from Wisconsin because there's yeah.
It definitely doesn't. I don't think it stops anybody. I mean, just like
No.
before the legalization in general, I really didn't see how it was stopping anybody. All it does is just stop the street dealers. That's literally all it does.
Right. Well,
They're
actually,
like, no.
Wisconsin's pretty much in the good section of the area because we got Michigan above us, Michigan to the
Yep,
side, Illinois, uh, Indiana, and we don't need to be legalized. It's everywhere else around us. So
exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's just you got to watch the crossing the borders, but other than that, you're good to go.
yeah. So
Yeah,
Lee Jennifer
because it
says she has
definitely
a.
helps a lot of people. So I don't judge
I do agree with
whatsoever.
that. I do agree with that. So
Yes,
she
especially
said she.
bipolar, mental, anything.
Mhm. She said she actually has a picture of Frogman, and she saw Bigfoot with her own eyes.
Oh wow!
But
She said she's got a picture of Frogman.
she doesn't try to get the photos of the big
Oh,
guys for
she's the
fear of
lady
an
that said
attack.
she's got Bigfoot on her property, and she's like, "Come on over." She's like, "You can come see him." I don't know, man. Like, you never know. Like, I guess if you don't bother them, they probably wouldn't be a problem. Kind of like, a normal wildlife here. Like, we have bears, raccoons, possums, all the normal stuff. But it's just crazy.
Yeah.
Mm.
She said she could do boots on the ground just stepping out the door.
Oh, Lord.
So Jenny says she's been having vivid dreams to the point where she's feeling things. Should I pay attention to the content of the dreams or can it be different meaning behind it?
It can be either or. And actually, there are dream books out there, but I would look up what your dream was, like in a nutshell. Just Google it and it will take you to the right space where you need to be, because there's a lot of websites that actually break down dreams and what they mean. And you think your dreams seem crazy, but when you Google your dream, you will realize that it's not as crazy as it seems, that another person has actually had the same dream for other reasons. It just depends on what your context of your dream is, though. If I spoke to you like on a personal basis and you explained it to me, I might be able to give you a little bit more insight. But other than that, I would just start with Googling what your dream is about. That would be my main thing. But that is called lucid dreams. And it actually is a message. And there is a reason why you're having these dreams. So I definitely would pay attention, but take it with a grain of salt until you know what it means. Don't take it out of context, because what you saw and what you felt might not be the intention of the dream, though. It can be the opposite and it can mean other things. Just keep that in mind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dreams can be interpreted in many different ways.
So Sharon Guy says, Amy, just wondering if any other spirits have told you anything about anyone here in chat.
I actually blocked it out so we could have a good chat, because if
Oh,
not, I would be having them fly all over my head. Because when I was in live on TikTok a couple times, it shut my live down. They actually seen the spirit shoot from my head.
oh my gosh.
Yeah,
See,
it was
and
pretty wild.
I have heard that on other shows too that I've seen scrolling through YouTube and TikTok
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that, and I have seen it in a couple of your shows too, where the cameras are all glitching and doing
Yes,
weird
that's
stuff.
why I can never connect all the time. It's crazy. It messes with my internet every time, and it always messes around with it. It's like when I get a good stream, I want to keep that good stream. Oh,
Right.
you're so welcome. Because I wouldn't be able to connect to nobody if I would stay connected to the spirit world because they wouldn't let me.
Yeah.
So it would be counterintuitive. I can't give the people messages if I'm not online. So it's kind of, you got to pick and choose your battles here. That's why I do the
Yeah.
readings in a private setting so I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
Yes, the books are pretty interesting. Yeah, the books for the dreams, yeah, they're interesting.
Yeah. I used to have when I was really young, I had this it was like a big, thick book of just all these different dreams. It was
My mom
thick.
had one like that when I was
I
growing
can't
up.
I can't find it. And it wasn't like a big book. It was just like a
One
handheld,
of
like
them smaller ones, but they were
yeah,
just really thick.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It was like a little novel book, but it was thick. And I can't find it for the life of me. I have no idea whatever happened to it.
I had one like that growing up myself, like my mom got me, and then some Zodiac book too. And it's really weird because, huh, just thinking about it, yeah, I haven't seen mine in a long time too. That's pretty weird. But yeah, I mean, mostly I don't really know where Google gets their answers from when it comes down to the dream books. So, like, that's why I always say take that with a grain of salt because you never know. And there's different opinions. So, you just got to go with your gut feeling when you're reading it. Then you'll know what the dream really means because your intuition will tell you. I mean,
Yeah,
you
and
just have to depend on that.
that's like a lot of stuff that you find on the internet too when you're researching stuff.
Yes.
And I
People
always,
pay to
I,
put that shit on Google, man.
yeah, I laugh when people go, "Oh well, I looked it up on Wikipedia." Well, anybody could post anything on Wikipedia. It doesn't mean you're getting the right information. But
Yes. I've seen contradicting information on Google quite a few times.
mhm.
And so you never know. That's why I'm kind of skeptical about giving people saying, hey, just Google it. But I don't really have another answer to give unless I'm doing a one on one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I always say, even if you are Googling something, the best thing to do is to go to several different sources. But
Big time.
my favorite is actually DuckDuckGo. If you're
That's what I
really looking up
use to
information.
download. This is why we're streaming now.
Oh,
That's what I downloaded. Yeah.
yep. It
Because I had it
clears out
before.
all that extra stuff that could be causing interference or things that,
Yep.
yeah, you don't want. I love
That's why I picked
DuckDuckGo.
it. Because Google was for some reason blocking my mic and my camera. And I go in to go check my settings and it has ask first on everything. So I'm like, okay, cool. Well, when you go on it, it's still blocking it. It wouldn't let it. And I tried to change it 100 times. It still would never change. And I never understood. But you know what? Every time that I've tried to do lives like this or anything like this, something has blocked it. And there's a reason for that because we're giving answers from the divine and the devil's always at play. And when it comes to something
Agreed.
like that, like especially like the type of stuff that we're talking about is very true but controversial to some people. And when you're giving those type of answers, we are really slept on, and that's why you don't see many of us going viral. That's why you don't see many of us getting the shows like the Long Island Medium or the boy that did it too, because I really see a lot of the Hollywood ones have a lot of skepticism behind them too. Unless I get a reading with them, that's how it's going to be. And I'm like that. It's sad, but true.
Mhm. Well,
You
and
never know in Hollywood.
I don't trust a lot of that stuff too that's on TV because a lot of it is
Mm-hmm.
just for ratings, and the devil works through Hollywood. I'm a firm believer the devil definitely works through Hollywood.
100%. And see, that's the thing. Everything was fine when we were talking earlier. And then all of a sudden, boom, everything started messing up. Like it made no sense.
Hmm. Yeah.
It made no sense. Shoot, I love skulls. I was just reading what you said.
Uh,
Anything skull related, I love because people
well, I
look at
think
skulls, they think it's death. I
And
don't
she
think of death when
said,
I see a skull.
no, she was talking about the skull weapons. So the
Hmm.
communists have these voice to skull weapons that can
What's
actually
that?
manipulate. It can manipulate things that people hear or even think.
Oh,
But
okay.
I don't think it's just the communists. I think it's a lot of government
Yes,
um
because that's why we have
things.
fluoride in our water. They want to close our third eye, things like that.
Mhm.
They want us to be followers. They don't want us to be a spiritual being. Because think about it. If so many people are AKA woke and they understand what's really going on in the world, and we all came together, knowing damn sure well that it's way more many of us than the elites, we would overtake everything. That's the thing that they don't seem to understand, but that's why they give us distractions all the time. When a real world problem is happening, they're going to give us a distraction.
Mhm.
It happens like that.
And I just wanted to address Belinda. I know
No, you're good.
what the little white thing was that she was talking about that went over my head. My cat is down here, my big fat cat, and he's been
Hmm.
like pawing at me to pet him, and he's shedding so bad. So,
Oh, gotcha.
Beli-
You're wearing black.
yeah. So Belinda, that white thing that you saw go over my head earlier, that was like a tuft of his fur. Ugh, there's another one. It was a tuft of
Oh.
his fur, Belinda. So,
Well,
yeah,
at least you're able to debunk that.
yeah,
At least you know. My dog, he's a fawn, so he's tan. My pit bull is tan. I have the same problem.
yeah.
Same problem. He gets all over my black clothes, and that's what I dominantly wear is black. And you can see his hair all over me.
Well, and I don't
Yes,
know.
I'm talking about you.
He's
He just
he's
sat up
being
and
a
looked
little
at me.
he's being a little brat tonight. Normally, my black cat, I have a tiny one. His mom, she's
Aw.
usually trying to climb up into my arms and lay
Yeah,
with
they
me
want
in front of the
attention
camera,
because they see you're focusing on something else, just like a
just like
kid.
kids.
Uh huh. Big time. Oh yeah,
Yes,
the
that
thing
is
about
pretty
the
true.
skull thing, people think that it's death. Like I love skulls. I'm wearing two. Like here's an obsidian skull necklace that I wear, and then I wear the other obsidian skull necklace. Where the hell did it go? I must have left it over there when I got out the shower, but I literally wear them all the time because for one protection, but skulls, I collect them. I love anything skulls, and it means rebirth,
Yep.
not death. It's I don't know, it's just all in how people interpret things, but I've always looked at it as like a rebirth. Like the old you died for the new you to come about. So that's why I like skulls. It's one of my things. Anything skulls, like I'm all about.
Yeah, I think a lot of different cultures too have that same concept about skulls. Is
Yeah.
the it is the rebirth
Especially
or
in the
moving
Spanish
on to the
culture
next. Yep.
with the sugar skulls.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have skulls everywhere.
But Belinda says she used to draw skulls all the time as a teen.
Oh, cool. I love it. I love it.
So does
That's one of
anybody
my favorite things.
it looks like we only have about 8 people in the chat. I wasn't even paying attention to how many people we had all together, but does anybody else
I
have any
can't
other
see it, so
questions?
I'm chilling.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
cool. Do
know.
you throw bones, Jenny? Or are you a person like, because see, some people throw bones and they read them like tarot
Oh, no,
or like dice.
no, she's a collector of strange oddities.
Mm. Oh, okay. Does she because like I love like the death moth and like different bugs and putting them in those like terrarium things and hanging them on the wall and stuff. I'm gonna fill my office with that when we move, and I love stuff like that. It's so cool.
You would love to see her collection. You really would. She has a very interesting collection. I love
Oh,
it.
cool. Is there a reason behind the collection? Like, do you have an Etsy shop and you sell the stuff, or is it just something that you're just like, Ooh, I like that. I'm gonna keep it.
Ginny, you want to answer that question?
I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, she does. She has lots of cool stuff that she collects. She's
There's
very
a
proud of her
lot of
collection.
people. If you want to open up an Etsy shop, if you don't have one, I'm telling you, they'll buy it. Oh, okay. Yeah, there's a lot of oddity shops on there, and I think it's cool. I always look. I think it's awesome.
Cabinet of Curiosity. Yeah, she finds weird things in the yard and she'll keep it and she'll put it in a jar and just save it. And yeah,
Wow.
so many bugs, so many bugs. She
My
cracks me up
kids,
though.
Lord, they do the same thing. That's why we are ball python parents. They love jumping spiders, any type of animal, bug, whatever it is. Charlie, he climbs trees, so anything he finds, he brings home. Lizards in Mountain Dew bottles, just so they could see him, so he can let him go because he drinks Mountain Dew. Like he'll drink it and then put them in there just so he can bring them home and show them and then let it go. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a daily routine in my house.
yeah.
That's cool. I always thought it was very different. Like, it really takes a different individual to be able to do taxidermy. That's something like, I don't know if I could handle that, but I would look at it and I think it's cool. The bug part, yeah. But you got to be very intricate when you do that because their wings can break and all that stuff. But when it comes down to the animals, nah, I don't know if I can get down with that.
Well,
I
and
don't know about that one.
I've seen where people have tried to do taxidermy and their animals. I've seen those on like um, the YouTube pages and the Facebook
Yes,
pages where people are like, "Oh my gosh, look at this fail." Ah.
big time, big time. Heck yes. Yeah, the borax thing that she was just talking about, the borax crystal, it's really cool because, like, all you got to do is put it in a pan, like the regular borax that you kill the insects and stuff with or whatever. And it actually makes like a crystallization that you can use like food coloring with. And it actually looks like a crystal quartz. It's cool as crap. Like, I know exactly what she's talking about. It's really cool.
Mhm.
Let's see. No, what tobacco Bigfoot like? What is a tobacco Bigfoot? I think that might be a
No,
spell
no. What
thing.
kind of tobacco Bigfoot like?
Oh, I see. ADHD. I'm reading it wrong. That's what I
Yeah,
get.
so she doesn't gift, but might have a visitor who might need to.
Maybe Marlboros. I don't
I think
know.
I think usually it's some type of a loose tobacco. I I'm not quite sure, Lee Jennifer. I think
No
it's
clue.
something that's usually like
I don't know
without the
much about
additives.
Bigfoot. Like,
Yeah.
I watch the shows with Charlie, but when it comes down to like knowing stuff about them, not so much.
Mhm.
Not so much.
Oh, Jenny said she'll have me send you a picture of her
Awesome.
collection.
Sounds like a plan. I think that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, my
Yeah, no
collection's more on the
tobacco, no
crystal side
chemicals.
because I've got a crystal shop. So I get that. And you could find like basically anywhere that you have a river or anywhere outside, you can find real crystals pretty much in every state.
Mhm. Good night, Cat Mom. Thank you for
Good
joining me today.
night. Nice to meet you too. I think this should be like a series that we could do like one day a week or every other or something. Whatever we decide, whatever you want to do. I think we could like come up with different things to help um like spread our channels or whatever you want. I think that would be pretty fun. There's a lot of topics like we could cover.
Mhm.
A lot.
Oh, cowboy killers.
Yeah,
Marlboro
my dad
Reds.
used to smoke them Marlboro Reds. Ugh.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, because it's been almost 2 hours. So and my cat is probably, he wants me to go feed him some more. Pizza called. Must be nice. I'm about to, you've been eating too, and I'm like hungry.
I know, man. I'm telling you,
came,
like, I was going to stop, but then I was like, man, fries taste like crap after they get cold. So
yeah.
I was like, man.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I came rushing home because um I had planned this early because I know you like to go on and do your TikTok then later on Friday
Right.
night. And so I'm like, okay, I want to get home. And so I was planning on going to grab something to eat, and then you're eating and everybody's talking in chat about
Oh,
food. I'm like,
man. It's
man.
at dinner time. Crap. Go get you some food, babe. Go
Yeah,
get you some food.
I
Yes.
probably will. We
But
had
yeah, right now,
something, but
when it comes down to the lateness and stuff on TikTok, Sunday's technically the day that everything's supposed to, I guess that's when the ban is. But nice to meet
oh
you too,
yes,
sweetheart.
because that's
So
supposed to
I
be
don't
like,
know how that's going to pan out or whatever, but I just pretty much been going on favorited and Instagram and stuff like that. But I'm hoping we can at least go live because I don't see how they can block every American from a platform.
well, and
I
didn't you say that as long as you already have TikTok?
Yes, you can still go live. I don't see, that's what I'm saying. I don't see how they can block us from being able to use the app. So
Right.
everybody who has it should still be able to go live. I mean, I would
Good night,
think.
Jenny.
Good
Thank you for
night,
seeing you,
sweetheart.
Jenny.
Nice to meet everybody.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we're good. So I'm gonna keep up like my schedule like I have, but I don't know. I just think it's like such a weird thing because it's all over money and greed, and it's sad.
Well, I don't think it's necessarily over money and greed, but we've talked about what we think the whole reason why they want to try and
Oh
block
yeah. Oh yeah. And
TikTok
now
really
Mark
is.
Zuckerberg has came out with a bunch of crap. And see, they have a lot to do with it because of Facebook and Instagram being in competition. They want all the TikTok people to come to their platforms.
Well,
Anything to do with that meta umbrella.
and the government wants to be able to control everything that we see and
Control.
do.
Yes. That's the biggest part.
Hmm.
Biggest part. Oh, you let us have every phone in everybody's hands from that country, but we can't use an app from that country. Like, how are you going to protect us from something that we already know is going on?
Right.
Yeah, it makes no sense. But I'm just like, what it is, what it is. Everything happens for a reason. So I just kind of let it ride.
But I will definitely have to check out that favorited
Heck
app
yeah,
because
thank you, sweetheart.
if
Yes.
that is,
Big time.
yeah,
Go on favorited. If you need help with any of the followers so you can go live, you only need 25. And it's easy to even get verified on this app. Well, they do grow lives like TikTok used to do, and they don't ban them. Every single room is a grow live. So you just go in there, hey, how you doing? Whatever. And they will all follow you and you follow them back. Like I literally got how many I needed in an hour.
who actually owns the favorited app? Is that run by like,
Somebody here in America. I don't know who,
oh,
but it's definitely an American app and it's not going anywhere.
oh,
That's all I know. And they're trying to, mostly everybody that I have talked to on TikTok, they're either going to favorited, Big Go, BIGO, or they're doing the Facebook live crap. But see, you got to have a following on there to be able to do anything with Facebook. And I think there's one more. Oh, the new Mango Live. That's another one, but that's brand new. Like that literally just came out last week.
oh, okay.
But you make 70% of all your gifts on favorited and Mango. But TikTok you get 50%. So you make 30 more percent of your gifts on those apps. So I mean it's definitely a good switch over anyway. And
Yeah,
it's a
because
lot less people on it.
I think that's one of the biggest things that I've heard too, is that with a lot of the gifts and things that people do get off these apps, they barely get what people are
Big
actually
time.
giving to them. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a Temu version. I'm not going to lie to you. It's not as good as TikTok's gifts, and it's not as, technology's not up there yet. But I
It'll get
feel when
better.
everybody comes over or whatever, I feel like it's going to get a lot better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it is kind of like a bootleg version, but that's okay. It's
So,
all good.
so yeah, I will say we'll go ahead and end this for
We'll
tonight. I'm
talk about it.
so
We'll talk
glad.
about
Yep.
it.
I'm glad to
You
have
need
you
to go get
on.
yourself some food, girl.
I know my stomach's rumbling.
Yes, go get you something to eat,
But
sweetheart. And thank you so much. I appreciate you having me on the show. That this is going to be fun.
yeah.
I think we can make something fun out of this. I have a couple ideas I'll run past you.
All right. Sounds good.
Y'all
So,
have nice to meet everybody. Thank you for welcoming and being nice. I appreciate everybody.
so all right.
I
Thank
don't
you,
know how to get
everyone.
out of here.
Actually, I will. I'm just gonna go ahead and kick you out of the studio for tonight. So, good
Awesome.
night. We'll
Everybody
talk
have a
to you
good
later.
night.
Bye, Amy.
Bye.
All right. So again, thank you everyone for being here. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a little something different, and maybe I'll, be able to have her come on again, and we'll see what happens. See what where it goes and what we can do. And again, thank you everyone, and I hope you guys all have a really great weekend. Wherever you are, the weather. Hope it's nice for a little while, and everybody can kind of enjoy themselves and get out there and enjoy your families. Especially you, Lisa Ann. Enjoy your mom. Tell your mom I said hi. Give her a big hug from me. So, love you guys all. Have a great, great weekend. We'll see ya.